Good morning. Start to a beautiful day. Drinking my coffee outside. It's a little chilly, but I'm out here with my kitty. It's just nice to get some sunlight in the morning, you know?
To identify with the ego.
Does anyone else still use Tumblr? Because I do. And I was scrolling through the feed this morning and I started to kind of get into a meditative state afterwards, healing my inner child, but healing particularly my inner teenager, because I've done a lot of inner child work recently. But gosh, going on Tumblr reminds me of my teenage years and how much I put myself through. Those were some really hard times and some toxic times. I went through so much, and I put a lot of people through a lot of stuff too with the drama that I was involved in. Gosh, being a teenager was wild. So that's why in my 20s, I am being young at heart so that I can honor my child and my teenage self, because teenage Morgan was way too serious and way too caught up in all these big emotions. And now I'm honoring her, sipping my coffee outside with my cat. That's what teenage Morgan would have wanted. Some of the biggest things that I think my inner child and inner teenage self needed was just to be felt, seen, and understood, especially being seen. I wanted attention when I was really young, and then as a teenager I just wanted to be understood. And I feel like this YouTube channel is a perfect way to get all of those things. I'm putting myself out there, receiving some attention, and not in a bad way, in I'm creating a community of people who are on the same kind of journey or path as me, and we're understanding each other, and I just love it. And also, yeah, I still use Tumblr. I'll link it in my description if you're interested. I don't use it all that often, but it's fun to go on there sometimes. Ooh, something I've been thinking about today as I'm sitting here, I just texted my boyfriend. He's not home right now. And I texted him saying, I think I'm gonna go get Starbucks. And I'm waiting to leave for him to reply, as if I need permission from him to go. I do this sometimes. I'm when I feel I don't deserve something, like Starbucks, when I'm oh, I shouldn't be spending $5 on a drink right now. I need him to be oh, go do it, for me to feel it's okay. When I can tell myself this, I just struggle. It makes me think, I'm gonna talk about my other realizations in the car. Okay, so I saw a TikTok that got me thinking about the evolution of my high school self into my college self and how different those two people were. Those were two completely separate people. Somebody was driving me through high school, somebody else completely was driving me through college, and this is not either of those people. So yeah. But the TikTok that I saw, it was this girl talking about how she just changed so much from her middle school self until the person she is now, especially with tattoos. She said that she would never get any, and now she has a ton.
I used to be that bitch who's I'm never going to get tattoos. I'm never gonna get any piercings. Piercings are disgusting. Tattoos are so trashy. Weed? Absolutely the fuck not. I was that bitch that would carry her Bible in middle school around with her. I don't know where we went wrong, but somewhere we did. Here I am, this half-gay witch that's just getting stoned in the car in the middle of the day. Yeah, I don't get it, but I'm way happier now, so.
And I relate to this video in the exact opposite way, and it's so funny for me to think about, because when I was in middle school and high school, I wanted to be covered in tattoos. I had a specific look for future Morgan. I was I cannot wait to turn 18 so I can start getting tattoos, so I can start dressing how I want, whatever. I just felt I was limited in high school or whatever to not be the person that I wanted to be, which was eccentric to say the least. And I also was very anti-religious and was very vocal about the fact that I was an atheist in high school. And now I am learning more about world religions than I ever have, and I'm in the middle of a spiritual practice, you could say. And so it's just funny how that's a complete reverse for me too. But I literally pulled a 360 from high school to college, because in high school, like I said, I wanted to be covered in tattoos. I had my ears stretched. I was very alternative, you could say. And then college came and made me boring and normal. I went to business classes and I started dressing preppy, to fit in, and I was with all the college trends, and then I got a business job. I was working at a bank, and I took out my gauges. I unstretched my ears. I took out my nose ring. I was lame. And I don't say that those things are lame. I just mean that I wasn't being myself anymore. Like, I was toning myself down. That isn't me. That's why I'm calling it boring, is because it's not my true self. So I just felt like I was being a character. And for what? Like, I didn't get tattoos for the longest time because I was like, well, I'm going to work a business job and it's not like business professional. Like, I can't get tattoos. It's my body. It's my life. If I want to get tattoos, I'm going to get tattoos. If the job that I want isn't going to hire me because I have tattoos, that's clearly not the job meant for me. So I just started getting visible tattoos once I started working from home last year. I literally still had this mindset last year that I like couldn't get the tattoos that I wanted, that I've always wanted because of my job or because most of my family isn't the biggest fan of tattoos. So I always felt like I had to do right by my family and not get tattoos. But it's, again, my body, so it doesn't even matter. And this is just one realization because I was just such a rebellious teenager, and like not in a super bad way, in just like a I don't care what anyone thinks of me way. And now I'm very aware and conscious, and it makes me hesitant to do stuff, and it makes me overthink things, when in high school I was completely not self-aware, which honestly like boosted my confidence. Like, I never even realized how confident I was in high school, but it was because I literally did not give a fuck about what anyone had to say about me. I had my friends who were my friends. Like, I was never part of a friend group. I just had people that I was friends with, but I was super content with myself. And so I did not care if people didn't like me or made fun of me. So once again, and probably forever now, I'm going to be embodying teenage Morgan because she was a badass. And I miss the carefree, I love myself, even if you don't attitude. So I'm embodying that from now on. I recorded all of this just sitting here in my parking lot. I haven't even started driving yet because I wanted to get that all off my chest. And now I want to listen to music while I drive. So bye. Okay, so I was just thinking about all of that more while I was driving. And I'm having big realizations right now. So I might have to make other videos talking about this. But I want to like touch on it right now since it's on my mind. But I was just thinking about how when I was a teenager, I was always waiting to be 18. And then once I was 18, I was waiting to be 21. Because all my friends were older than me and I just wanted to like drink with them. And even as a teenager, like I was always, or like whatever age, I was always waiting for something. Like if it wasn't my next age, it was for a concert. Because I've said before, like music was my entire personality. And there's something else I want to say on music being my personality too, but like I would always be counting down the days until a festival or a concert, or counting down the days until a merch drop. And then when those would happen, there would be another one on the lineup. I was always just like looking forward to something and never truly actually living in the present moment, especially when it came to my age, because I was always acting older than my age or wanting to be older than my age. And now I couldn't like be happier that my birthday is all the way in November. Like, I don't want to age anymore. I don't want to get any older. I'm done. I want to go back in time so I can live in the present moment at those ages again, because there's so many moments that I wasn't even living in the present to enjoy it properly. And I wish I could go back and redo that sometimes. I mean, I can't, and that's okay. And that's why I say that I'm living young in my 20s so that I can like still live it up. I'm not too old for anything. I hate when people say I'm too old for this. Like, no, you're not. The point of life is to stay young. So those are just some things I was just thinking about. And then also something that I was actually very aware of in high school that I was doing, like full consciously doing, was I loved like the idea of fandoms. I'll have to insert what year this was, but when I was like 15, around like when I first went into high school. Oh my God, see, I have to stop caring about what people think of me, because the girl next to me in her car, she just got into her car and I like leaned down over here so that she wouldn't see that I was talking to my phone. Hello? Who am I? I need to stop this. I literally have tinted windows too. She probably couldn't even see me. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so I, in high school, loved the idea of fandoms. Especially, I was like obsessed with Twitter. When I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, like I literally met so many of my internet friends who I'm still friends with today. Like 10 years later, we're still friends, but I met them on Twitter through our, we had the same music taste. And I loved like fandoms and stuff when I was in high school. And I consciously decided, like I thought one day that I wanted to be some band, because I was into like the Warped Tour scene. I wanted to be some band's biggest fan.
that was like a literal goal for me. I always became obsessed with different artists, and the obsessions would usually like last and then fade away. But I was like, no, when I find that lasting artist, I'm going to latch onto them and literally become their biggest fan. And guess what? I did. And it was a band called Breathe Carolina. They're actually still around, but they perform as DJs now and not a full band. But at the time, I was literally like known in their little fandom on Twitter for like just being their number one fan. Like I literally traveled all over the country to see them. I was like on a friendship level with the artists. It seemed like they always remembered me, and like we would talk and stuff, and like people would come to me with questions about the concerts and stuff and like tours, and like I was just the spokesperson for this band. And it's so funny, like I still see people do that now with like YouTubers, with different artists, DJs, bands, like whatever. There's like people who think they're like influencers just by being a fan of whoever it is that they're obsessed with, or whatever it is that they're obsessed with. Does that make sense? I still see it, and I'm like, I did that. I literally did that, probably when it was first becoming popular, because I was like the youngest generation to be on Twitter, right? I was like 14, and the internet was like fresh. But yeah, I just think that is so funny to think about, the fact that I did that, and I just wanted attention. I wanted everyone to know me. It was like, it literally was like a sense of fame, like that feeling of internet fame or whatever. Just, I was known in that little community, and it made me so confident online. And I feel like that's where a lot of like things stem from. I don't know. I'm like losing my train of thought because now I'm sitting here in the Starbucks parking lot and I haven't even gotten my drink yet, but I wanted to get all these thoughts out of my head and onto video before I forgot about them. So I'm gonna go get my drink now. Okay, so at least my trip to Starbucks that I was trying to justify had me have some realizations on the drive over here. This is what I got. I'm doing a taste test. I've never had this before. It's the matcha pineapple drink. I just realized I gave no reaction. What a good taste test. No, it's really good. It's pretty much exactly what I expected it to taste like, and so I'm satisfied. It's delicious. Okay, so in conclusion of all the things that I have talked about today, I think this just gives me even more of a reason as to why I want this channel and my content to be so lighthearted, because I was struggling for a while feeling like I wanted to make like such professional and knowledgeable content, but really I just want to be relatable. And I guess you could say I'm trying to act younger than I am, but like I'm not ashamed by that or embarrassed by it. Yeah, I do want to act younger than I am, because I don't think that you're too old for anything, especially fun. So that's why I'm here, just to have fun, spread joy, and do all the things that all versions of myself wanted to do, but never got the chance to yet, because now I have free. My boyfriend's calling me. Anyways, that is just basically why I'm here, and what I want to do here is just have fun, and that's it, and embrace the inner child within me in a healthy and fun way, and to continue healing and to continue living in the present and enjoying life. If this video, or if anything in it, resonated with you, or if you just liked it, please make sure to give it a like, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.